is Bronny from Manhattan, New York. So I have so many things on my mind. Like, ever since I was hospitalized for 3 weeks, don't get me wrong, you guys. I desperately feel. Hold on, let me clean my camera. I do feel like I needed some type of intervention, but I felt like like not like major intervention, but like acute intervention because I was feeling suicidal, but I wasn't telling anybody that I was feeling suicidal. I was just keeping it to myself, and I was thinking that I was letting people down because I was feeling suicidal, and I don't want to. A lot of the times, hi, good afternoon. A lot of the times, Pijish Sina, good afternoon. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. A lot of the times, you want to per, you want to give the perception that you're living a certain life when you're not. And when you're hurting deep down on the inside, like right now, I feel like crying. I found myself random times just crying throughout the day. I think about how did I end up here in life. Um, I want to be more career wise. I would like to be further than I am. Um, Even though I'm only 33, I've been working since I was 14. I did, I want to say really, I've been working for a while. Um, I'm just like hurting right now. I can't believe what my son father did to me all those years ago, how he could just walk away and leave his son and just leave me and his son just like that. Like, I understand that pussy is good out there, excuse my language, but how can you just get up and leave your child and the child of your mother for another woman? I mean, an infant at that. And then I'm I'm not understanding. There's two different things between hearing and understanding. I'm hearing that once somebody has lived and experienced something before, they might not want to experience it again. But then again, I feel like the same way he left his wife in another country to come to another country to same way he left his wife in Jamaica and was dealing with me in New York, you know, I don't know. I don't think it was on my side. I don't blame myself for that because I did not know he was married. Um, when he did tell me he was married, he um he told me that they were separated. He never told me that he was married and for him in his mind they were separated, but the truth of the reality was that that woman thought that they were together. And she thought that he was just up here working and making a living while he was with me. And it so sucks. Like, I really often cry and think about how did I get here? Like, what the fuck? How the fuck did I get here as a single mother dealing with ACS? Fathers that aren't really in my children's life, they are the father of my children, but they aren't as involved in my children's life as I am. And then I get the people like give me a hard time because I'm a young mother and my kids are older and younger. You know, I really I can't be, I can't believe that my son just graduated high school like with no children. I'm crying. I'm crying, you guys. I'm crying. These are tears of joy. I'm crying. There's people right now, somebody's in my neighborhood where I live, somebody's son just got killed. And here it is. I have one son. I often say to myself, what would I do without him? I don't I don't know life without my kids. And right now my kids are like semi-present in my life. And when everything else went wrong, when I didn't have a job, when I didn't have money, when I lived in the shelter, I had my kids. And that time too, it also seemed like I didn't have my kids because my kids lived with my mom and she wouldn't even open her door and give me a warm meal. Yes, he is going to college. He plans on going to Gutman College. I am so proud of that little boy beyond words. And then I saw my daughter, and I think I was wanting to see my 16-year-old so badly. And I don't think that she's using me. I just think that she's hurt. There was an incident when she was like around 9 years old, and I was talking to her and she was just being blatantly disrespectful to me. I was telling her, I was giving her orders of what to do, and I gave her order to do something, as my child. And she just was being blatantly disrespectful. And then she turned around to top it all off. She turned around and she told me, "You're not my mom. I don't have to listen to you." And she told me that my mother, which is her paternal grandmother, because her maternal, sorry, not her father's side, her maternal grandmother is her mom. And I slapped her in her face. I have never hit her after that or anything like that, but I was so upset and so livid. She was taking stuff off the floor. She was 9 years old, mind you guys, and there's nothing wrong with my daughter. She is she's passed all her mental health tests and stuff like that. I think she struggles with depression a little bit, and I think my son struggles with depression because I struggle with depression and I see my behaviors in them. So I'm scared sometimes that they might become suicidal or go off the deep end. And I'm talking about in depression wise, because I think like secretly in my family, even though they've never got like tested for it, I think depression runs in my family. When things aren't going good, I think we get depressed. So like my when I get sad, like really sad, yes, I still do wax. I haven't waxed in a while. I've been shaving with razors because it's cheaper. And yeah, I do think, thank you so much, Spiral Trigger X. I do think that family therapy will help a lot because I I do think that family therapy will help a lot with me and my kids because I want them to know that when I'm not there, it's not because I don't want to be there. It and then I don't want them to hurt like me and let people that's gonna hurt them or harm them in any type of way come into their life. Excuse me, come into their life and hurt them emotionally. I don't think people are going to come into my children's life and hurt them physically, hopefully not, God forbid. But I'm saying hurt them emotionally the way that I've been hurt. Right now, I'm thinking I don't even want to be with my baby father anymore. Um, in the beginning of the relationship, my father of my last three children, I'm thinking I don't want to be with him anymore. But the fact that I don't want to put his business out there because that's not my information to put out there. But the fact that there's just one very heavy, pertinent um, issue that happened between me and him that makes me never want to leave this man. Like I just want to kiss the ground he walks on. I really love that man. Um, but he can only be there for me as much as I allow him to be there for me. I know I push people away because when I need them to be like all gushy mushy with me and they're not available to be gushy mushy with me, then I'm gonna sit and cry and be sad because they're not there to hug me and tell me everything is gonna be okay. um, when I'm feeling like everything is just going to crap. So, like, I I am like really crying out my mind, and I'm gonna be starting my Zoloft again. Hopefully that helps me. Medicine can only help you, but so far though, you guys, like, come on, let's be for real. Medicine can make you feel good for some reason emotionally because there's something in your mind. A lot of us don't want to accept it, but I accept it now. I always knew there was something wrong with me because I would sit and cry for days and months even. I can sit and cry for a good month and a half every day. And that is not normal, but that has become my normal at times. Um I realized that I've been doing that for many years. I sit and I stress and I cry. Um, what I'm there, and the things that I'm crying about is tangible. Like what I should be focusing more on. I think I need to devote more time to my spirituality. And that's just my faith in God. Because in his due timing, I know everything is going to work out. I know because I'm a living miracle that everything will work out. Thank you so much for all the hugs and prayers, the tempest. I know that everything will work out. So I personally, I haven't been back in solo therapy, but I am getting mental health. Um, so I get medicine management and excuse me, I get medicine management and I get social therapy. So I haven't been back in actual physical therapy, one-on-one therapy with a therapist. If that was the question, I hope that was a question. I hope I'm answering it correctly. I haven't been with a actual therapist one on one in a while. So I am so I am so I am so I'm such a scaredy cat. You guys, the other day, there was a water bug in my apartment, like a water bug, you guys. I can count less than 10 times in the 16 years that I've lived here that I've had a water bug. And a water bug is the big ones, you guys. The ones that are like that big with the wings and the long antennas. It was in my apartment, and it got in through the window because it got in through the window because I was opening the window, because in the mornings you get a really nice cool breeze. So I was opening the windows, and that's where the bug came in. And then I tried to kill it, and it ran, and then in the morning I found it dead on the floor. I was like, thank you, Jesus. God knows I was scared of it. God knows that I was scared of the water bug, and that's why it died on its own. Or maybe I did hit it with my slipper a little bit because I thought I hit it, but then it moved. So I think, like, you know how you hit it, but it's still alive, and then maybe it like died lately. Girl, slap the bug and cover it with the tissue and flush it. Yes, yes. I was so scared, you guys. I could have cried. I don't like bugs, and personally, I'm asthmatic. And to be honest, like throughout my whole life, I've never really lived anywhere where there's bugs or mice, roaches or mice. I've had times where there's been like a infestation in the neighborhood or something like that, and maybe like less than a month we have a little issue with roaches. And I'm talking about like small roaches, not like big roaches or stuff like that. Even in my childhood, when I did live with my mom, I never lived with, like, when we first moved into the house, we lived with mices, and I was dumb. I used to play with them. I didn't know no better. I was so dumb. I remember I thought they was my friends. I was like, I'm one person. I'm not gonna be alone. I ain't gonna be lonely. Watch me. I ain't gonna be lonely. Yeah, but I was scared. It was a big roach. Yeah, it broke in. Yeah. Yes, I am in New York. I am in New York. Yes, I used to play. That's like, don't tell nobody, you guys. I think I'm grown. But yeah, when I was a kid, I used to, and then one day I was telling my mom about them. I said, Mom, the little friends that come to visit, at least I don't be lonely because you don't let me go outside and play. And the little friends come, they come up and they play with me. I can't go outside and play, but the little friends, they come and they play with me. So it was like TMI, such as, like, yeah. But I was scared. And then then like I really miss my kids, you guys. Like, the fact that, okay, I was by myself, and then I got pregnant with my first child. And then 15 months later I got pregnant with my second child. And then 6 months later I got pregnant with my third child, which I had an abortion. I also been feeling bad about that. I'll be telling myself, why did I even do it in the same way? Yeah, my mom probably was like, what? She was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, Ma, the little friends, the ones that you tell me close the door and make sure they don't come in. And I was like, yeah, Ma, that's crazy. But yeah, Um, So I've always loved animals, and the thing is, though, I was never allowed to have pets when I was younger. My mom did not believe in having pets in the house. She already had three children, and we are me and my older sister is 5 years apart, and then my brother on my mom's side were 3 years apart. So I'm 33 and he's 36, 37. And my sister's gonna be 40 on the um this year or next year. I'm not exactly sure, but I was tell so no, but I always liked pets. I always liked them, and and you know what's crazy? My friend had a gerbil, and I used to like it, and it bit me. And I still like animals though. I like animals. I really like animals. Even though they bite me sometimes and stuff like that. I really, 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 really like animals. I think everybody deserves love. However, I am allergic to I don't think I've never had a dog. I've had a cat for 7 years. That was the best experience in my entire life because when my kids wasn't around, my cat was there. So it was like I would see my cat all the time, all the time. And then somebody said to me, Bill, you need to love yourself. To me, so when I went to the hospital for when I went to the hospital for my mental breakdown, I had to bring Timmy to the ASPCA, and I believe he got adopted. So what they do is they keep them and they adopt them unless what she explained to me is unless they're sick or they're unadoptable. However, Timmy and Bear were very lovable and very, 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 very nice. So I think that somebody definitely adopted them. I don't think that they said that they would euthanize them, but they would call me and let me know if they had to euthanize them. I've never received a call from them, so I don't think that they were euthanized. I think they were adopted. But I miss Timmy and Bear. But then I think that having Timmy and Bear was a lot of responsibility. I had to always buy them food, had to always buy them litter, I had to always buy them treats. They got really expensive. Having a pet is really expensive, especially since I had two and they were kittens. So I couldn't have anybody around them. They had to be like, because they could get sick. I had Timmy since he was 1 month and a half, and that was the most sweetest love I ever felt in my life was from Timmy, Bella, Bear, and Chloe. That's the most love from a pet that you can ever receive in life is from a pet. A pet give you the most love, but I miss them so much. Yeah, they got really expensive. But I miss I miss them. I was so sad I had to give them up. I was crying. I was devastated. I was in tears. And then I was like, girl, just do it and get it done because you need to go to this hospital and fix your mind and get better. However, my medicine doesn't feel like it is working anymore. And I don't know because they told me that I am schizoaffective. So that's different from schizophrenia. That's different from excuse me guys. So they told me that I have PTSD, postpartum depression, and I'm schizoaffective. As I told you guys, I don't which means my mood goes up and down, but it's usually stable. So my mood, even though it goes ups and down, it's usually stable. Like it's affected by my environment and what's going on around me, but I'm I'm not gonna bug out or tweak out unless things are going badly for me. For instance, I lose my job, then I lose my apartment, then I lose, just things just keep going bad. Then I will become maybe suicidal, and that's what schizoaffective is. Oh, yeah. So I'm learning about it. I've had that diagnosis, schizoaffective, from ever since you. I cause I was wondering why sometimes I sit and cry and cry and cry, and then like after I'm finished crying, I could move on and my mood changes, but I still feel like crying. So like, but I don't feel like I ever want to hurt anybody. Like, I never want to hurt anybody. I always want people to be okay. I always want people to be good. I always want pretty, nice things to happen. And I've always been that way since I've been a little girl. And I wonder, I think being privatized so much has made me feel that way. Like, I don't understand how you can, well, then I do understand when you face certain poverty situations. Because even my son, he was telling me about some, not to talk about his friends, but parents talk to their children. He was telling me about how some of his classmates, they experience these poverty situations, and then their parents take it out on them. And I always, told him, I'm happy he turned out the way he turned out, because I look up to my son. When things are going bad, he always has a positive outlook. I look up to my son. When I grow up, I want to be like him. I'm just a kid. But I miss my babies so much. Especially my 6-year old. She do something make me cry. She would do something. She will not listen to me at the wrong time. But you know what? She's timid, she's sweet, she's caring, she's loving. She's I love Micah Angela so much. I love Micah Angelina. I love Micah Angeli. I love Michaela. I love Micah. Those, they are my prophet and prophetess. Yeah. So ever since that incident happened where I slapped her when she was like 7 years old, she has never forgive me. She has been keeping it above my head, and sometimes I wonder, I want to see my baby. I want to make sure she's okay. I want to know how school was. She's a teenager now. This was the time when I needed to talk to somebody and talk to my mom about school. And I know my mom is not talking to her and not being as present in her life as the way she should be, because she's working. So this is what happened with poverty. With poverty, you go and you be working. She needs somebody to hug her and tell her it's okay and that she loves her. You see my eyes, they is glowing. This is when I'm speaking. I don't want no man, no grown man to go and do what I was supposed to be doing as a parent, but because the government took me out my child's life, they take advantage of her. I don't want that to happen. But I don't have to think like that. That's the whole thing. I don't have to think like that. The God I serve, he's so amazing. He's so awesome. Like, I just have to continue praying to him and leave it in his hands and know that he's going to work it out. Even when I can't see that he's going to work it out, just leave it in his hands and know that he's going to work it out, because he is the God of all. He's the God of all understanding. He is the God of infinite, you know? I don't want to I don't speak those stuff when it comes to kids. When it comes to kids, I believe they being kids. you know, and my ignorance got the best of me as a parent the other day. And I don't want to talk about that situation yet. So years from now, I'll tell you guys what Micah did to me when he was 17 years old. But I'm not going to tell you guys today. So, yeah. But I love my children. I miss them right now. That's why I'm crying and sad. I miss them so much. I'm in the bed, by the way. I know you guys are like, where are you, Brownie? I'm in the bed, in the bedroom, in my apartment. So I just decided to get on here and go live. I'm sad of the amount of people that actually joined my live and started listening to me. Like, yeah, yeah. Then it'll be the story of a lifetime. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait like 20 years. Like when I'm 50, I'm gonna be like, you know what? When my son was 17, you know what he did to me? It's gonna be the story of a lifetime. And my dumb behind gave him the slack enough to do it to me. That's gonna be, you know what's crazy? My sister told me that it was gonna happen, and it happened. That's the worst thing about it. But she said worse. She was like, "You're so nice and so believing. You're gonna trust your child so much," because she was saying how she ain't gonna trust her children. Her children gonna be under lock and key. She gonna this and that. I'm like, you don't do children like that. That's are they in a jail? You're gonna be a communist to the child, you know? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be a communist when I have to be with certain stuff. Like, no, you can't hang out with that friend. I understand that friend is going through X, Y, and Z, but I can't allow you to be contaminated with what that friend is going through because you're gonna behave on the behalf of protecting that friend. And when you behave on the behalf of protecting that friend, that might endanger you if that friend is in any dangerous circumstance. And then it also goes on the same side of, but where's that love and care? That friend is probably my son's age in it, you know? So, like, I be a communist when I have to be with my kids, but I don't never want to tell them that. I hate when I tell them that because, I'm just thinking of my baby coming home at night, every night coming home to me. That they alive and they coming home to me. That's what I'm thinking of. I kind of, so you guys, I'm going to continue crying because I need a good cry. So I'm going to continue crying. And then after I cry, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Thumbs up this video. Share it, like it. Subscribe to my channel. Stay updated. Subscribe to my channel to stay updated with me and my life. Be blessed as I'll do the same again. This is Brownie from Manhattan, New York. Mwah. Hi, Jeremiah Diaz.